Good morning. I'm really struggling to try to find a spot in this truck to keep my phone. It's like every time I'm having issues with where to hang my phone or where to set my phone. It's either the phone holder or it's the road. It's too bumpy for the holder to hold into the place because I don't really have a lot of space here. When I'm moving around and driving and I'm trying to be safe, and for some reason the brackets that I have bought for the windshield, the stick on the windshield, I haven't had much luck with them or any of them. So this is a learning process, how to find a good spot to do a video, or in the moment. Like right now I'm trying real hard to stay in the moment with this day. And so I just get on the highway and I drive, and I have to choose to think about those things that are lovely, those things that are pure and good. Because if we just, if I just allow myself to dwell on certain things, then my whole day is going to be chaos. And since I know I have the choice to choose what things I dwell on, because God said that I can dwell on good things and lovely things and pure things, and all that stuff that makes me feel good on the inside, that reminds me that I'm not what this world would like for me to be. Because this world would like for me to be in a rage. The enemy's constantly agitating. The darkness is constantly trying to creep in, disturb my light, my peace. And I just have to remember that the light is in me, and the light shines brighter than the darkness. So what I started dwelling on, this might be like completely off topic, but this is what happens. I go back into God's kingdom and God's world and God's thoughts, and I remember the story about Noah, and I'm thinking about the story of Noah right now because I want to be in that place of peace, and I want to remember that God provides everything. God provides everything that we need for us to survive, for us to get out of a situation that could be harmful to us. He gave instructions to Noah to build the ark, to bring in everything of its kind. Everything that God does has a purpose. Okay? He didn't give the enemy instructions to build the ark. No, he said everything that is wicked is going to be destroyed. And Noah believed, and Noah followed the commands of God, of his voice, because he believed his family and his children were going to be saved. So he gave him instructions to build the ark so that he could put his whole family in there for safety. And so I started, as I'm driving this truck, this is my place of safety. Okay? This is where I'm alone with God and in my thoughts with Him and praying and taking in all my thoughts and concerns and my desires for everyone that I love and everyone that I care about is in this vessel. that God must have chosen me to be in. You know, I follow the desires of my heart that He's given me, and I am passionate about being alone with Him. And this job hasn't been easy for me. There's been a lot of different types of challenges, and so, you know, there's two sides to this believing and being in God's grace. You know, there's like this part of me that I'm very passionate about my job and I love it. And so it may appear to the outside, from people looking at it from the outside, that, oh yeah, just drive around. You know, all you do is drive around and get paid. And, you know, how hard is that? You know, what is the difficulty in that kind of life? You know, if you're loving your job and all that, well, yeah, I do love my job and I do love driving around and getting paid. I love all that stuff, but there comes a responsibility with that much passion, and also God just doesn't just willy-nilly, oh yeah, just do whatever you want and I'll pay you. I don't think it's like that either, because not everybody is built to do every job. You know, we have to remember that. And if you're good at what you do and you're passionate about it, it may appear to other people that it's easy. It's okay. Just like Noah, I was thinking about that, and I was wondering, you know, it says they took Noah and his wife and his children in the ark, and everything of its kind, 2 of everything of its kind. One of the male and one of the female, yada yada. So then you have, you know, all the other stuff about that, but I'm talking about Noah's wife. That's what I started thinking about. I started thinking about Noah's wife. And it doesn't say much in the Bible. It don't talk much about Noah's wife and what was she doing. You know, what was she doing while Noah was believing God? This is fascinating. This is fascinating to me as far as relationships go, because our relationships, there went my sunglasses, relationships are so difficult, but the one with God is the most important, okay, between you and God. And I noticed that in the Bible it doesn't talk much about Noah's wife, okay, and the reason why it's fascinating to me is because I always like to wonder what she was doing. You know, was she responsible for all the animals? Did she think her husband was crazy because all he could do was focus on this Noah's ark, or all he could do was focus on this ark? Was she thinking he was crazy? Was she stressed out because that's all he would do was just build and build and build and build? And it's like, probably, it may have seemed to her like, you know, what are you doing? You know, I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, what if it was me? What if my husband was so passionate about God's voice and God's direction and what God was planning? You know, I think that would be awesome. But it would also probably come with a lot of responsibility from her. She had to trust her husband that he was trusting God, because that was their family. You know, their whole life seemed to be dependent on that ark, because it's just beautiful. I don't want to go into all that because I'm going to be getting into some traffic here. I'm going to get off of here and continue communicating with God and keeping myself in this peace that He's provided. And I just wanted to share that, because we need to think about this really, really deeply, how much God is with us and what He actually does for us, what He provides for us. Even the directions that He gives us are very important, personally important to us, to get through this life, because He wants things to go well with our soul. So, you guys be safe. Love you, and talk soon. Bye-bye.